My name is Ibia Blessing, a sculptor artist, hailed from Benin, Edo State, Oredo. My artwork is generally all about me, my environment, and the society I found myself. And those are the things that influence my art. Most of my artwork, some of them are political statements underneath with beauty, like the ape you just saw, titled Vagabond in Power. Today in Africa and the world, we seem to have a lot of vagabonds in power, and they have made life so difficult for the common man. I see those leaders as an animal, so I decided to represent some of them in the form of an animal. Like in art, in Dadaism, white forms are represented in animal forms. So I see them in that way. You can also find such leaders in our university, in our offices. I see them like an animals. That's why some of my sculptures piece you can see around, some of them are animal forms, some of them are human forms. And generally my art is highly being influenced by my environment. I love nature. I love people. I love faces. That's why you keep seeing them playing around my work. I see myself as an artist because I don't just sculpt iron. I sculpt, I paint, I do anything in art, I perform. I believe art is not supposed to be limited to a setting there. To say I'm a metal sculptor, I'm a tile sculptor, I'm a wood sculptor. No, you are an artist. Talking is a form of art. Dancing is a form of art. Performing art, everybody do art, but unknowingly to some people. Actually, I can say that I was blessed in all ramifications. From my mother's side, my grandfather was a traditional carver in the ancient Benin court art by the Great. He was a Benin court artist. He carved wood. In my father's side, my father was an art dealer when it comes to artic. I was so privileged enough to be born into the center of art, the airport art, the ancient Benin airport art. My father's house was the airport art in Mission Road. There, traditional carvers comes around from all over to come and carve and sell. They carve their traditional art, like wood carving in shadow. They carve some artwork, shadow and human forms, abstract and human forms. So I was born into it. I grew up to meet my uncles, my people I call mentors and masters. They were all carving wood. I was also privileged enough. My late uncle Ben Osawe, of blessed memory, the famous sculptor. He was also a sculptor, my uncle. I was privileged enough to work with him. As the last I worked with him in wood carving, in modeling. what really made me dive into metal, I realized that everything around me has been wood. My grandfather and my mother's side, wood carver. From my father's side, wood carver. Everybody is wood. And I used to carve wood, but the pain of carving wood in my shoulder is too much. I say, what can I do that I will not be eating too much of hammer, igbam. I see the way they are eating their hammer. I say, if I continue like this, now die you. So I said to myself, I want to turn iron to look like wood. At the same time, I want to be better than my fathers. My fathers were limited to traditional carving. There were no opportunity to go to school. I said to myself, I will go to school and I'll study school of art. Then my late uncle said, hey, he himself also went to school. His father was also a carver. It was an opportunity to study in London too. I said, uncle, if you can go to school, I for 1 year, I will go to school. So I was opportunity to get admission into Aunchi Polytechnic. So I started from the scratch, from pre-ND. Like play. I like using broken alongside my English because I'm a very down to earth. I'm an African man. I love my where I come from. So from Aunchi Polytechnic, I went there. I was privileged enough to study general art. From general art, I found myself in sculpture after some challenges, whatever. So after the school, even when I was in the school, the lecturer would tell me, this is not how to do metal in this school. We cut hole here, we cut hole here. I say, but this is the way I want to do it. My classmates will be laughing at me. You are saying my style. But this is my style. This is what I like. This is how I like it. They say we will not score you. I say it doesn't mean. And most importantly, I'm coming out as a sculptor. So I left school. I was privileged enough after my school. I wanted to serve in Benue State. After my service in Benue State, I stayed back for another 4 years in Benue. I never wanted to come back to Benin. I realized if I should go back to my family house, they will want to start dictating my life. I want to be free, so I stayed in Benue for 4 years. From Benue, I started making my sculptures, bringing them to Lagos to sell, to clients, to various people. There I was opportunity enough to meet Mama Nike of Nike Art Gallery, Art Foundation. She likes my work. Over the years, she started patronizing my art. I was also privileged enough to meet Mr. Jeff, Third Pyramid Art Gallery. He likes my art, he started patronizing my art. But the originality about my work is that by my metal sculpture, I try as much as possible to make my work look like wood, so that where I'm coming from will not be lost. Why I said that I see myself as an artist, not a sculptor. I see myself as an artist because I felt to myself, if I call myself a metal sculptor, I have cut myself off from the origin where I'm coming from, which is the wood carving. If I call myself a wood carving, I have cut myself off from where I went to learn in the school. Okay, if I call myself tire sculptor, I have cut myself off from the other side. The only thing I can call myself is just an artist, because I see myself as just an artist. Since I started art, I will not lie to you. It has really been a game of thrones. Game of thrones, you win some, you lose some. But I try to make sure that my wins will be more than my loss. Some people like my work, some don't like my work, but I keep going. The beautiful part of it is that I love what I'm doing. I can say most time I don't even say. But I keep working. It's just like somebody that is an addicted to singing. Even though you put him in the prison, he will keep singing. He's addicted. And there's a song that says I'm an addicted. I love what I'm doing. It gives me joy when I'm doing my art. Whenever I handle my materials and I'm working with it, I feel this kind of joy in me. It's not the money. If you are looking for money, I don't think art should be where you should run after money. The money won't come in time, just the way people think. Art is something you do for the love of art, for passion. With time, money will join. But for me, I do art for the love. Through the love, money comes in good. I pray that money comes in, but I love what I'm doing. To set up a sculpture studio, an art studio, no matter how small it is, it's not easy. Things are sculpture is very expensive because it's art. It's very expensive. In Nigeria today, we don't have power. One of the greatest limitations as a sculptor artist is power. If you are to buy a diesel generator, you need to owe nothing less than $500,000 to be able to buy one. If you are to buy a normal generator, you need to own almost $400,000 to buy one. If you are to buy other soft machines, they are very expensive. I started from the scratch without no family support. My father was not rich. My mother was not rich. But I believe in what I'm doing. The little money I'm making, I try as much as possible to save and buy my equipment, because I know that those equipment is what that will take me to another level. And I'm still buying some. I have not bought some, but I've got most of them. So the journey of art and artist, you need to be dedicated. You need to believe in yourself. Whether people say that you are doing it right or not, you don't need to. Criticism may come in, filter it, pick the one you know is good for you, and let go of the shafts. In the course of sculpture, because of art in general, other challenges: one is to make a work of art, two is to get a buyer. Making a work of art is as easy, but getting the buyer is the main cocoa, is the main war. Some people will just say, I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it, but to come bring money, no be play. Not everybody that likes your work that want to buy them. Some people just want to use you, as in get your work, make some money out of it, and throw the shaft to you. But as I always say, if you close your eyes for bad things, you don't want to see bad things passing. When good things are passing, your eyes will still be closed. But the beautiful part of it, art is not really easy to sell. But if you love what you are doing, keep doing it. As an artist, some days may go by, you may not have money to even buy a recharge card. Sometimes you may not be able to feed yourself. Let's be sincere to ourselves. But what keeps you going is the passion and love you have for what you are doing. Because if you love what you are doing, you keep doing it. No matter what you lay your hands on, you keep working. You keep making more research to get more affordable material to work with. In the course of art, general milestones that I've achieved, there are so many. There's so many. Through the grace of God, I have been able to make some international connections. I have works in US, I have works in France, I have works in notable places in Nigeria. And I have been able to meet some great men and women all around the world. Like the famous Timaya have my work of art. The musical artist, my work of art, you can get to see some of them in the walls of Top Pyramid. My work of art, most of them are in abroad, in private collections. I don't want to mention names, although I've mentioned some. I've achieved more. I've been able to see things for myself, get to meet people that matters. And you have been able to meet great men and women that have positive impact in my life and in my art. If I have not gone into art, I may not have met them. Actually, I've done some exhibitions, some group exhibition here and there. In 2016, the Connected Gallery. I've done another one at Nikki Art Foundation and done some other exhibitions like that. But when I finish my sculptures here, I often exhibit my work of art in Nikki Art Gallery. There you can get to see most of my work. I also exhibit some of them in Top Pyramid Gallery. As I earlier said, this is just a studio. I exhibit more of my work in those places I earlier mentioned. And some private collectors can come around and say, we would like to exhibit your art in our show. They exhibit, we make sales. Yes, I do exhibit my work of art for now. Instagram and Facebook have played a very big role in the art industry. A very big role. Most of the people that do give me calls, I don't know them from Adam. They saw my work on Instagram, EBA Blessing or Blessing EBA. They'll just message me. We like your work, we like to have one of your pieces. We get to talk. Some of them come around to the studio, some make an order, we deliver. Instagram, the social media have been of great help, which is few people have been of great help to my profession and to me. As I earlier said, I work with several materials. But for now, the materials I'm really working with are metal sheets, nut and tires for now. If I'm making a sculpture with metal sheets, first of all, I make a sketch. I make a sketch with my rod. The sketch I make with my rod, I take a paper trace from the rod sketch. After the paper trace from the rod sketch, I cut out my metal sheet. I beat to form. I weld it with an arc welding machine. I fire it to get to the form. I patinate, that piece is ready. If I'm working with tire, the first thing I do earlier on, I get a maquette or I make a sketch. I make a construction, which is the framework. After making the framework, I get my tires. There are tires that are suitable for tire sculptures. They are called tread tires. There are two types of tire in the market, tread tire and iron tires, iron tread tires. The iron tread tires cannot be cut. Even though you cut it, the metal inside will still be of hazardous to the client or the person using it. So I normally use tread tires. And you can get to see more tread tires in bike tires and bicycle tires. After cutting my tires into strips, then I use my drilling machines to drill them. I use electric riveting machines. I order for some of my machines abroad, which I'm using to band the tires and the iron together. After banding them, the form of whatever form I want to build will erupt. Then I patinate it by me paint it. That's the way it is done. The process of making that kind of a sculpture piece, one, you get the clay model. You model with clay. You set an armature, you model with clay. If you are working on a resemblance, you get a picture of the resemblance, you model it on the clay. You prepare the mold with concrete. Concrete is cement and sand. You prepare it, you now mix it together after done with the clay work. You oil it, you divide it with metal chins. Metal chins are aluminum to divide the clay. You apply the cement, which is the concrete, on the clay work all around. By the time it's set up, you liberate it. Which one you earlier saw. After liberating it, you open it. You chip up, you clean it up, clean up the clay from it. The form that was in the clay will now appear on the concrete. Then you get your nut. You arrange it inside the mold, you wet it out, you pull it up, you clean it with iron brush, you join them together neatly, and that is how that piece is being achieved. I believe knowledge is meant to be shared. I receive CWE students from several schools, IT students. From now, we have some students from Osun State Polytechnic. We receive students from several schools. In the far north, some student comes around. I do train people. I love to teach people what I know, because people will remember you for how you impact their life. So I teach people. It's a great future projection. I believe every art piece is a masterpiece, and every masterpiece has a future projections. What is the future projection of an art piece? The longer it becomes, the more valuable it becomes. Like the works of masters like Picasso, Michelangelo. At their time, at their era, the work may not be too expensive, but today it sells in billions in our money. I believe as time goes by, the more I work, the more I exhibit, the more people get to know about me, the more the value begin to rise. An artwork value is priceless. It keep growing, the value keep appreciating, you don't depreciate. That is how I see art. That's how I see mine. Me personally, as an artist in my business, in 5 years' time, by His grace, I see myself being in the next level, being able to touch more lives, train more students, help more people to become self-independent as well. Because what will be of your benefit after you made all the money, you made all the fame, you didn't touch any lives? It would not be good. In the next 5 year times, I see myself being able to touch more lives. I may have trained more students. I may have helped a lot of people to achieve their own goal, to be able to take care of their family too. That is how I see fulfillment. Fulfillment to me is not you having a big car driving all around or living in big mansions. I see myself in 5 years' time, I should have been able to touch more lives, teach more people art, encourage more people to remain in the profession. At the same time, be a mentor to many upcoming artists, a mentor that will guide them to the right path of light. If you want to be an artist, as somebody that want to call me, hey, I want to be an artist, I want to learn to become an artist, the first stage, if you are not privileged enough to go to school, some artists are not, you can work under an artist tutelage to get knowledge of being an artist. After some time, by the time you have mastered the profession, working with the master, you'll be able to sell 1 or 2 works, even though you don't have access to material, to machines. Through that process, you can be buying the utility of your machines and be doing something. But if you have the art of moving to the next level, you can pick a course, have an ND in art, then it's good to go.